Hey viewers, welcome to another game of Schedule Pro Gamer. Today we're doing a jungle Malphite game, and he is on Skype with his whole team, and that is an excellent drawing on Oriana, so a nice skin on that. Let me see, yeah, so we start off a little bit into the game apparently, because, well, that's just one of the bugs that is in this system. Fortunately, it's only the first few seconds normally, so it doesn't really matter too much. And we will be seeing some jungle action. So I haven't done a Malphite game in quite a while, and I wonder, yeah, what really changed? Because they probably changed him in one of the past patches. So starting off at the wolves here, because that's what everybody does. Not sure if they have a clairvoyance, pretty sure they don't. No, enemy team doesn't have a clairvoyance either. He's up against jungle Warwick, which is okay, I guess. Warwick not the strongest jungler. Malphite is a really strong jungler, also has very good ganks. And especially if you can land the Q on the correct target and get a nice ultimate off, yeah, you can have some pretty good ganks. So starting off here with Flash and obviously the Smite. And yeah, starting off with the wolves, as I said. Only one hit from Oriana, that's not really the most useful. You want to attack the small golems a little bit if you're helping someone. That Oriana is going to help him with the actual blue. So Smite has the last 445 damage here, and that is going to be a very easy blue buff, or at least it should be. Smiting a little bit too early, it's not really a big problem because he wasn't really under pressure, but with stealthed opponents and yeah, well, with stealthed opponents or not a lot of vision, you might want to watch out with that, because if you smite too early, the enemy gets a chance to actually get your blue buff and steal it from you. And without the blue buff, you're pretty much screwed. So going for the golems here, not going for the red buff right away, and is going to have his shield back up. Yeah, there it is. The shield of 65 damage here is going to help him out quite a bit with the early damage, because he gets that back every camp as long as he doesn't get hit for a few seconds, 10 seconds in fact. And yeah, he's going to go back here, or is he actually going into red? Oh, still has 3 health potions remaining. Never mind, he can easily get that. So he waited a little bit for his shield to come back up. It is really useful to have that, and has his smite back up. So with the smite, he should be able to get the red buff pretty easily. There we go. And are we going to see a gank? No, 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 no. It's going for the raids once again. Was considering a gank on the mid lane, and probably should have done a gank on the mid lane here, but yeah, the gank is coming in now. Unfortunately, Lux backed off a little, and could have come in from the side here, from this lane, but we are going to see him land the Q, and come on! No, nothing happening. The snare is too big. Yeah, he couldn't get the last hit off. So I'm not sure if they could have made that kill, because I had my camera in the wrong position when at the start of the fight, because we see a little bit of lag here. I don't know why. It is just something I will have to deal with, I guess. So top lane does get a first blood there. Top lane is Fiora versus Fiora. So probably Fiora is going to win that. And indeed, she got first blood. So going into well, the closest camp here, and then going to continue on with the other two camps that are still available. Yeah, well, the red buff and blue buff will time out before he gets the next gank off. Well, the red buff may still be on then. Blue buff just timed out. And yeah, the next blue buff is going to be for Oriana. So that, at least it should be. So that is going to yeah, make it harder to jungle, because his skills take quite a bit of mana, and he normally uses his skills to do a lot of the damage to the minions. Obviously, because you get higher level, your skills are going to do more damage, so you need less of them, and therefore you don't need all of the mana, and you're going to get more mana regen and, well, maximum mana as time progresses, as levels progress. It's probably worth it, because Fiora, enemy Fiora, actually backed out, and yeah, there she is, back again right at the moment that he went back. So we can safely assume that she warded that. Yeah, nobody on the enemy team at the moment has any wards. There is not a real support champion on the enemy team. It is Master Yi plus Vayne in the bottom lane, whereas this team has Soraka and Vayne on the bottom lane, which should be way better. And just as I say that, they get a kill. But yeah, this Vayne should be able to stay full health or near full health while Soraka harasses. While on the enemy side, they do have more damage, but once you start harassing them, it's not going to matter at all. Malphite going into mid lane here to attempt another gank. He is level 5 now. Not sure if he could level up to level 6 really quickly with the blue buff and wolves. That should be possible. But yeah, didn't really get into place for blue buff in time. Didn't really time that, but he did see it come up and immediately went out of the gank. Could have just walked through the lane, that would have been quicker. Also, it would have warned Oriana not to push too much. Oh, Master, you disconnected. Okay, that kind of explains why he got killed. And a nice shield here from Oriana. And a very nice smite there, which left the blue buff at, or the golem at, a very a very low amount of hit points. And I'm not sure what Warwick is, but neither is Oriana. Warwick was still here. And yeah, they should just pick up the minions here. They're going to lose all of these minions as they keep chasing. And yeah, it is not like it's a really good engage for them. In fact, almost dying there. And with the Warwick Blood Hunter, whatever it's called, Blood Sense, I don't know what it's called. Let's see. No, that wasn't it. I couldn't find it in time. Yeah, the little thing above the head of the champion. It actually reveals you, so it doesn't matter whether you're in the bush or not. It was just not a good engage, and they should have just taken the minions, been happy with that, but instead they went greedy and got killed for it. So running up with Oriana here. And Oriana is going for mid lane, he is going for red buff. And with the red buff he should be able to gank again, but bottom lane is pushed. Mid lane, yeah, kind of has excellent escape abilities because she has a very nice slow. She has the snare, and yeah, with that it is very hard to get the kill on her. But now Malphite has his ultimate, and with the ultimate he should be able to do quite well. So he's okay. He was going to check on Warwick. Warwick, who doesn't have any buffs at the moment, and who should be silenced here. No silence coming out. She did have plenty of mana. Oh no, never mind. The silence is a free spell, so it was either on cooldown or she didn't realize that she could silence him. And yeah, had she gotten the silence off, it would have prevented that little bit of damage. Also, it would have drawn him into third range, maybe, and this guy could have ulted, and maybe they would have gotten a kill. I like the ward here. It protects the Orianna from ganks from this bottom side. Normally we see the wards on the top side here, because that is where the red buff is positioned on the enemy team, and red buffs are normally, well, getting a red buff is normally the trigger for going into a gank. So nicely played there, getting a nice kill here with the two of them, and it is, yeah, well, we see a little bit of harassment going off from Warwick, and now Malphite's coming in to hold his mid lane. Doesn't really need to do a whole lot. He can harass Warwick a little bit, and yeah, doesn't really need to do anything because Orianna's probably going to be back before the lane pushes into the turret. Yeah, I could have used the smite there to get the big raid immediately, because, well, you have smite up anyway, and you're not going for dragon right now, so you might as well use it for something else. Especially if you have the advanced smite, so the because then you get 10 gold for it. And even though that's not really worth a skill point, in my opinion, because, well, it has more than a minute cooldown, so you're going to use it like maybe 20 times in a game. So that's 250 gold, and I think there are much better ways to spend that one point. But I guess 250 gold is worth it in the end. But it's, yeah, well, because, yeah, well, you don't really get the gold at the beginning of the game. You get it in really small amounts, so it doesn't really do a whole lot. And yeah, still has the smite up. Would have been free 35 gold here when he walked past. Oh, 30 gold, okay. Still gets the 30 gold, obviously. And ultimate, ultimate, ultimate! Come on! Too late. Should have done that in turret range when Warwick was still being focused by the turret. Yeah, they still get the kill, which is excellent. But you should really try to do that in turret range, obviously. If the enemy champion is indeed being attacked by the turret, because getting an extra attack by the turret takes him down by, it says 150, but you actually get damaged more when you take multiple shots, but let's say 150 damage extra, so on top of your own damage, for free. And yeah, if you take multiple shots, the amount of damage per shot will increase. I'm not sure by how much. Oh, by the way, I've completely unrelated, but the gold for assists, yeah, it used to be 70%. It has been 70% for quite a long time, and it has been reduced to 58.33%. I don't know why. I don't know when, but it has been for some time. I just didn't know that. And I was just wondering why it's... Yeah, the gold was always so low that people got for assists, but that's because, well, it's 58% instead of 70%. So getting assisted kills not as important as it used to be, but it is still mighty important because getting 58% more gold is, well, in general, very important. Because that's almost 60% more gold you get out of a kill, and that is an excellent way to get, well, to get your team gold up. So yeah, the Malphite going after 2 champions here, it's not really advisable, and is indeed going to pay for that. Running in 1 versus 2 and then chasing one of them into the enemy jungle without any vision. They don't have any vision on the map anyway, they have 1 ward, which is in their own jungle even. So it's not even preventing the ganks that much, because people can still come in through the river and you'll probably not see them because most people come through this bush. The right spot to ward is here for the bottom lane. For the top lane, the right spot, middle lane, sorry, the right spots are here and in this brush, or this brush even, but this one or over here, with the raids over here. That way you can see the most ganks coming in. For this lane it is over here. That is for the blue team, of course. If you're on the red team, so that is the other side of the map, which is the purple team normally. Then the ward spots would be, yeah, somewhere over here. Maybe the tri-bush would be good as well, but then you wouldn't see people coming in through the river. But normally people don't come in through the river. You don't gank through the river. So the best spot would be here, because then you can see people coming through the river as well as through the tri-bush. This spot is still highly recommended for both sides. This spot is obviously a good one, so somewhere here, because then you can see them coming in like Malphite is doing right now. Malphite, who does have the red buff and is going to gank here. So obvious other spots are going to be this one or somewhere over here, because then you can see Baron as well as the river and the entrance or exit of the jungle. And yeah, obviously the place that's warded here, no, it's not actually the place that's warded here, so over here or over here would be good. Malphite not going in with his ultimate here, apparently thought that he wouldn't be able to do enough damage, which is probably correct. So the enemy did take out his turrets, because, well, they have a lot of damage and they cannot really stop it. The Vayne died. Let me lock onto him. So mid lane is 105 to 101, so they're equal. Jungler is 75 to 68, they're about equal. And let's see if he can actually make something out of this. Oh, nicely done. Double ultimate there. And yeah, Soraka should really spam her Q a couple of times, so that the heal on Master Yi is not really that useful. They do get an easy kill here with 3 assists on it. And that was nicely done. Obviously when you're on Skype with your whole team, it is going to be easier to coordinate ganks and such. Bottom lane is 95 versus, wow, 80. So Vayne Soraka with, well, I didn't count the Soraka minions, because normally she doesn't have a whole lot. But she does have, or they do have, like 110 minions here, where the enemy only has 80. So that's a big difference. So bottom lane is definitely doing very well. The rest of the game, the rest of the Lanes are pretty much equal. Stealing a big minion there. Bad girl, Soraka. Shouldn't do that. Yeah, and Warwick apparently counter-jungling a little bit. Yeah, Malphite should really be with his teammates here, invading the enemy jungle. Or trying to invade it. And bottom lane shouldn't be lost here. They are losing quite a bit of minions there if there's no one there. As well as HP on the turret, obviously. And Vayne is going to come in here. Yeah, Warwick is also there, so it is kind of a risky situation here. Yeah, nothing is going to happen. I think both of them will or all of them will need to run out. And Vayne is actually getting really low, but she has stumble, so she didn't. Oh, she wasn't able to get out of that, and that is actually really, really bad. Not so much bad play, but just bad for the team. And Warwick actually able to get out of that. That is such a shame. They should be able to survive a little bit better in these team fights. They have a pretty good team, and yeah, Vayne apparently a little bit too far forward. I would expect her to walk out a little bit sooner. She may have used her tumble offensively, which you should never do. It is an escape skill, and the only way you should use it offensively is when you know you've got a kill. So if there is no doubt in your mind that you will get out of the situation, but otherwise it is just a really risky thing to do. Yeah, enemy Vayne also just running in a little bit too greedily, getting the turret, getting the yeah, wanting to get the kill, but didn't actually get the kill. Wow, Malphite escaping with very low HP. Because, well, the ultimate from Fiora really doesn't work too well on just one target. And he does get, wow, he actually got hit by the snare from Lux there. And come on, don't go in. Oh, that was such a bait. That was really nicely done from the enemy, what's her name? Lux. Enemy Lux was standing there like, come and get me, come and get me. I have like 20 HP. And then Vayne actually well, went for it and didn't realize she had to get past 2 champions that were full health, and obviously they're not going to just leave you alone. They are going to kill you, and that's exactly what they did. So very nice bait there from Lux, and it worked out really well. So it's 13 all. We're not sure about the gold here. I think the only gold difference is between the bottom laners. So the 97 versus 50. That is going to be a big difference, because Master Yi is not going to matter too much. He's AP Master Yi, who cares? But the Vayne versus Vayne is going to be really important. Obviously Bloodthirster is not a really good item to go first. You should go Infinity Edge first, or oh, nicely done. Actually gets the red buff. You should go Infinity Edge first, or Phantom Dancer, depending on what your own preference is. I don't really care which one you get, but Bloodthirster isn't very good because you're going to get killed quite a few times now, because you're not really in God mode yet. And every time you die, you're going to lose all of the stacks on the Bloodthirster, making it, well, not really worth it anymore. So we are going to see some damage going off on everyone here. And Oh, that was a nice, very nice shield there by Orianna. But for some reason no ultimate coming out from Soraka, and although at this point it wasn't necessary, there's no way she could have seen that coming. There's no way she could have seen that that was not necessary. By the way, APE is a very viable build. Well, not very viable. It is a viable build. It is just not a very good build if you're a support Yi. You need to be very, very fed in the early game to make it worth it, to get enough damage to actually do something for your team. You have to have a lot of minions, and yeah, if you're support Yi, you shouldn't do this. You should just go into the enemy jungle, try to get some minion kills, support your jungler maybe, I don't know, something like that. So Fiora, yeah, Fiora getting silenced there, enemy Fiora, and therefore had to leave her target because she couldn't lunge to them. And yeah, Soraka's dead here. There we go. But the rest gets out. So we saw the thing fly past him and then he got stunned anyway, or snared. So still has his ultimate up and really needs to catch, for example, the Yi here with his ultimate. Yeah, if he gets Yi with his ultimate here, then it's done. No, get your ultimate, dude! It breaks the heal! Yeah, they do get it, and he still has his ultimate now. And there we go. There we go, but yeah, not really the most useful way to use it, but they are going to pick up these 2 kills, I'm assuming. Yeah, this guy is going to either suicide or almost suicide. Yeah, so don't know what the plan was there. And Lux picks off the Malphite, unassisted, but still, you really don't want to die. Yeah, all of the channeled spells obviously get disrupted by the ultimate from Malphite. So if Yi is doing well, is healing up, then you should immediately ult him and just kill him. That way you don't have to do that much damage. You're not going to waste time and skills on him, and you can just continue on defending your base or attacking other enemy champions, whatever you were doing. And that is obviously better than spending a whole lot of time on killing someone that really doesn't matter anyway. That is just a free kill. So Malphite farming up bottom lane here, getting a lot of minions with his skills, which is excellent. I mean, that's what your skills are for, endgame. Or, well, yeah, I guess this is kind of endgame. He is level 13, so it's still mid-game, but yeah, his skills are high enough to actually do enough damage for using them, or for effective farming use. And Orianna should be getting blue buff here. If blue buff is still up. Oh no, it's not up. Never mind. She already has it. She has double buff in fact. Yeah, Dragon is up. And they haven't warded it. It is just for everyone, just free to take. And I'm not sure if someone is buying awards, but at least no one is placing them, so no one on any team is buying wards. And Fiora versus Fiora gets another fight here. So as you can see, we can see nothing here. There's... yeah, whatever. An ally has been slain. And that's why I don't watch the other lanes. You cannot see the reliable information on positioning, on skills, on any particles. And although you see some particles, it's not all of them, and you definitely don't see the correct positions. So once again going into the enemy jungle here to fight, and that is really not going to go too well. And yeah, this should be a double kill at least. Come on, you can get him. Oh, there's another champion coming in. That is not good. Oh my god. Get the yee. No, he should just run out of here. It is way too risky. Ah, he gets killed. Yeah, getting into the enemy jungle when you have no vision is really risky, especially if you're not really ahead of your opponents. It's 20 to 21, so you're not really ahead of your opponents. The enemy apparently took out Dragon, because Dragon is done, and yeah, that gives them a gold lead. Even though they weren't really ahead in kills, now they are ahead in kills. And there is nobody who is like 0 and 6, which could have made the difference in the gold better. Because the gold will diminish if you die multiple times in a row. And obviously Soraka died multiple times in a row, but she got 1 kill. So 1 and 4 is actually worse than 0 and 4. Unless she went 1 and 0 and then went 1 and 4. Because, yeah, well, if you die multiple times in a row, as I said, you're going to give less and less gold. And that's why killing the support, if he is something like 0 and 7, is really not worth your time. Unless you have one of the snowball items, like Magi's or Sword of the Occult. Because then it still gives you 2 stacks, and the stacks are worth it. But otherwise you just leave them there. And yeah, you don't go chasing them. Obviously in a team fight you can kill whomever you like, because then supports can be really useful, especially Soraka, who can give out heals and armor buffs and global heal, and well, not so much mana, but does have a silence. So you might want to kill Soraka if you already killed, or if you have no chance to kill the carries. But yeah, otherwise you just leave them, because they don't do anything compared to carries. So yeah, there's a little bit of standing around here. Everybody is in mid. For some reason, nobody in bottom or top lane. They could easily split push. They have a stronger Vayne at this moment than the enemy Vayne, and if they just ward up the river or the enemy jungle, they can easily split push and just hold off the enemy with the 4 of them, and have one guy. Ooh, Vayne dying there immediately. But yeah, they would have the opportunity to split push and get a turret for free. Nicely done. Leona going down. No, that's not Leona. It's Fiora. All these champion names. It's crazy. Yeah, Heroes of New Earth actually celebrated their 100th hero. So they have 100, and League of Legends is almost there as well. They are at 93 currently. And that is just crazy. I mean, it is getting impossible to ban everyone. I'm not sure. I think Heroes of New Earth you can actually only select half of the champions or the heroes, only the ones on your side. So I'm not sure of that, but that would mean that you at least have 50 champions to choose from instead of 100, and you get to ban 5 champions, I think, out of the 100. No, out of the 50, so you get to ban 10 champions out of, or 12 champions out of the 100. But yeah, in the way League of Legends works, it is really getting a little bit crazy, and there are too many overpowered champions or unbalanced champions. So some champions are unplayable, some champions are way too good compared to others, and it is just, yeah, the bans really don't do it anymore, which is a shame, because the bans are a really good system to at least kind of steer people away from a certain direction and make sure that your team can actually do the things they want to do. But yeah, as we see, we for those of you who didn't watch IEM, I only watched a few of the matches, but we see the same champions over and over again, and they may be different from the last tournaments, but that's because there have been a few patches, and in those few patches they buffed a few champions and nerfed a few champions. But yeah, the champions you see in every game, those are the overpowered ones. So those are the ones that really should be nerfed, and yeah, obviously the pros know which ones they are, which champions there are too powerful for the enemy team to handle. So most of the matches are between the same champions, so they have standards the same, or out of the 10 champions, 6 of them will be from the range of 6, maybe even more, probably more, will be from the range of overpowered champions, instead of champions that the people are really super hyper good with. I mean, you can be like semi-good with Shen and still do a lot better than when you're super good at playing Evelynn, because Evelynn is completely worthless, whereas Shen is completely OP at the moment after his recent buff. And Vayne is really too squishy. Yeah, Vayne has the Bloodthirster still, but the Bloodthirster is not a good item, as I said. If you are this squishy, you need to save that until the late game, and then you pick up 40 minions to stack it up, but you won't lose all of the stacks all the time, and you won't get pushed out of the lane all the time. Better items to get early on if you get focused like this, or if you're in a kill lane like she was, would be, if you want lifesteal anyway, the Wriggle's Lantern, because it gives you armor, it gives you the lifesteal as well. It also helps you farm, and it gives you a ward, which makes sure that you can you won't get ganked. And all in all, that is a pretty significant amount of stats that you really would like to have on a squishy champion like Vayne. Obviously, if you're doing well, or if you're in an easy lane, you really don't want that. So they were going for Baron, but I don't think they really intend to get it. They intend to lure the enemy team here, and by doing so, they will actually be able to take them out. But for this moment, nothing is happening, and the whole team is kind of spread out. I mean, they're all over the place, and if someone gets caught, then they're pretty much dead. So they should now reverse on the enemy champions and get... Yeah, indeed, that was a nice ultimate. Immediately taking out Vayne and Fiora there, and just ignoring the Warwick, because Warwick isn't going to do a whole lot. Warwick is not very useful in these team fights on his own. He is useful when he is supported by other champions. And yeah, once again we see the incorrect placement of the champion, because he just teleported to somewhere else. And Vayne actually getting a nice kill there on Warwick, but gets killed for it because she was all alone. The rest of her team was over here, not supporting her. They should have really tried to support her there. And yeah, we see the singularity there, and there goes the ultimate, and they do get it, the Baron, no problem. It was a little bit close, but yeah, in the end, without the vision, there was no way that Lux was going to steal that. She does have double buff, so she is pretty scary, but they're still going to go for her. And yeah, nothing is going to come out of that. So ultimate's up once again. Most of the ultimates are up. Well, everyone's ultimate's now up. And by coordinating the next team fight really well, they should be able to pretty much win the game here. It is quite kind of funny that this guy actually has Magi Soul Stealer with 5 stacks, because well, if you're playing Soraka, and yeah, well, you're going to get a lot of stacks just for free, because you're going to get an assist for everyone you heal with your ultimate or with your normal heal. So you don't even need to be in a fight. You can just use your ultimate and make sure that someone can get a kill, and you will get an assist. And with the full stacks on that, you get something like 120. No, I don't know. I don't know what it is nowadays. It's 8 ability power, and you can get 20 stacks, so that's 160. Yeah, 160 AP for one small item, because it's not really expensive. It's something like 1200 gold. 1200 something. 35, I think. Yeah, you get with some luck. It is can be a really good item for your late game. So the enemy team scared of them, obviously, as long as they have Baron buff. They are still 3 kills behind, and they should really try to push a turret here, because they need to make sure that the Baron buff is used to push at least one of the lanes. And they should really send out Vayne to one of the side lanes. Either Vayne or Fiora. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. So I had to put him on auto follow, because otherwise it would go like this. And that's never good. Yeah, I wasn't sure if any fighting was going on. Obviously now there's no fighting going on, but in a few seconds the enemy team will be close enough to actually engage upon. But they're going to back off. So yeah, you really shouldn't just defend with Baron buff here. They are behind in turrets. They really should equalize that. They are behind by 1 turret, I think. Yeah, they have 3. The enemy has 4. So they really should just, yeah, with 3 champions bottom, just push mid. Or, yeah, well, as I've said a number of times already, Vayne should really push the top lane in this case, and then use her ultimate to either kill whoever is coming for her or just get out of there. Yeah, well, she should be able to do that. Even if she dies, it really doesn't matter, because probably you're going to get a whole lot of minion kills plus a turret out of that before the enemy can actually go there. And now the Baron buff has timed out for everyone. Yep. And that means that they really didn't get a whole lot done with their Baron buff. Obviously it gives you quite a bit of money. Or gold, I should say. But yeah, the gold really isn't what Baron buff is about, or what Baron is about. Baron is about the buff you get, and the significance of the buff is that you can extend your lead or come back from a deficit. Because getting the 300 gold each is nice, but if you can get 2 turrets out of that, you get 600 gold each. And that is way more significant, obviously. Also, you get a way more map control that way. And yeah, you can get more jungle control out of it. And it will shift the balance of the game instead of just giving you some gold. Because gold you can get from anything, but map control and well, shifting the balance of power in a game, there's really only one way to change that. No, 2 ways. You can get more items than the enemy, so that one will build up really slowly over time because you get more minions or you get dragons or such. So you get more gold, you get more items. It's kind of one way to do it, and we see an engage here. Yeah, the other way to do it would be Baron buff and stealing all of the jungle buffs from the enemies. So taking a lot of damage there from the Lux ultimate, and that was really way too much damage from Lux. And yeah, they're not going to be able to get anything done. Wow, that Lux did way too much damage. And yeah, I'm going to guess here, nobody has magic resist. Well, a little bit here on Malphite. Well, not a little bit, he actually has 150 magic resists, but Lux has no magic penetration. Well, the boots, but no what's the staff called? Void staff yet. So they lose 2 turrets and an inhibitor for the ace. And yeah, they could have pushed 1 more turret as Lux is doing here. Could have easily gotten this turret as well. But for some reason Lux is all alone. And oh, she is going to get the turret. Wow. Yeah, that's because of the sheen probably. Wow, they could have finished this, man. If Lux on her own can push that, what would 5 champions have done there? Huh. Anyhow, Lux get killed for that, but that's okay. It is quite a significant amount of gold, and Soraka should have definitely used her ultimate to get a stack on that, because she lost quite a few stacks here. I don't know what she's at the moment, 3, so she should have been at 4. Anyway, yeah, well, Baron is up again, Dragon is up, and the enemy team took all of their buffs. So the thing they didn't do, the enemy did do. I mean, the enemy actually took all of their jungle buffs. Yeah, blue buff, red buff. They are going to take out Baron. They're probably taking Baron at this moment. And yeah, there you go. Baron buff on the enemy. It's not like they could have stopped that, but the enemy played this exactly right. They got an ace, and out of that ace, well, they should have finished the game. Let me put that first. They could have finished the game, and they should have finished the game. Because with these long revival timers, that's not what it's called, whatever. The long time it takes for people to get back in to revive. Death timers, that's what they're called. Yeah, with the long time it takes for them to revive, they could have easily won the game right there. But they backed off, they wanted to do other objectives, and they got this turret out of it, this turret out of it, this inhibitor, and this turret. So 3 turrets and an inhibitor, as well as red buff, blue buff, and Baron, out of 1 ace. So yeah, okay, they lost Lux in the process, but they lost Lux because they didn't push the Nexus, and I still don't know why they didn't push the Nexus. They probably didn't realize how long the death timers were at that moment, and they probably thought they couldn't finish the game, but they could have easily done that. Would have been no problem at all. Anyhow, yeah, now we're stuck in our base, and it is going to be really hard to get out, because as you can see there's no vision on the map. The side lanes give a little bit of vision, but the enemy can control the whole flow of the game. They can say when they're going to engage and where they're going to engage. So a nice kill here, because, well, Warwick apparently didn't have vision of the enemy team. And ooh, there was a max range ultimate there, but he's not going to get anything out of it. That's a shame. It was a really nice ultimate, but nothing is going to happen from it, and they are going to... Yeah, once again Lux doing a lot of damage here. They really need to get the... because, yeah, the Soraka really bought the wrong items. I mean, I like the Magi Soul Stealer, I can see why that's useful, but Will of the Ancients really is not a good item for Soraka. She should have gone for Age of the Legion. Age of the Legion would have reduced the damage from Lux by about 50%. And that would have been very, very significant. Whereas the Spell Vamp coming from Will of the Ancients really isn't that big of a deal. Because, well, Vayne is your carry here. As well as Orianna, but Orianna already has a Will of the Ancients. So the only one profiting from the fact that Soraka has the Will of the Ancients, except for Soraka herself, is the Orianna, because the rest can just only stack one of these auras. And yeah, if she had she gone for the Age of the Legion, they would all have a significantly higher amount of armor and magic resist, and especially because they got owned by Lux in that first fight, they should have realized that they needed magic resist. I don't know if they realized that, well, the big amount of damage in that fight was coming from Lux. But it really was. Lux is doing a crazy amount of damage with her ultimate, which has a very short cooldown. And she did a crazy amount of damage with her Lucent Singularity, I think it's called. And yeah, the ultimates from Warwick really on the wrong person here. Because, well, if someone has a lot of armor and health, it is Malphite. And Malphite is just going to run in here and they're going to get a kill on Fiora. And Vayne is dying here as well. Okay, just kill them all. Come on guys, kill them all. They're probably not going to manage to do so because they just don't have enough armor, and especially magic resist. Because, yeah, they keep dying to simple spells such as the ultimate from Lux and the Elf Strike from Yi. Nice slow going down from Orianna, and the snare, yeah, making sure they can escape. Nicely done. That was very well played. So go for they should really get the Baron Timer and Dragon Timer here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And they need to ward. They need to ward the whole jungle on both sides. Like, spend a few hundred gold on wards. Finally, as I said that. Let's see how many she got. Oh, can't see that here. Need to go to the actual person. She's dead. That really doesn't help. So there's Fiora with her Wriggle's Lantern, but the Wriggle's Lantern ward is nowhere on the map, so really doesn't help if you have a ward for free and you don't use it. So here she is, and she has two. Really? 2 wards? Anyway, yeah, there need to be at least 5 wards on the map in the late game at all times if you want to see where the enemy is, and spread out over like dragon, your blue buff maybe, baron, things like that. So you would have at least one in this region, one in this region, and then one at, I don't know, maybe enemy blue buff, so somewhere here, which would give you vision over this whole corridor, which would be awesome. And this wouldn't happen, because now 3 guys are coming in. Maybe you would have a ward here, or even at your rates. That would also be good. But have some wards out, guys. Yeah, once again, Yi healing up. And yeah, so using his Alpha Strike to do some damage and then healing up. And people are still attacking him even though he gets like 300 bonus armor magic resist. I don't know, it's a crazy amount. It's something like 300. It makes him completely invulnerable. Unless you break it, of course. If you silence him or stun him or, well, do something that disrupts it, then all of a sudden he's very killable. And yeah, he should have died now, but yeah, he's going to heal up once again to full health because no one went after him. And they have so many things to disrupt that. And he's going to take so much more damage now before he dies. And that alone is worth going for APE. Making people just waste damage on you. Instead of on the actual carries. Because he's definitely not a carry. He can do some damage, but it's not nearly enough to call him a carry. And he once again heals up to full health. He is a hybrid build even. Wow. That's so much gold. Probably stole a lot from Vayne. And yeah, they're going after this Lux, but Lux once again snares the first guy in. And Vayne is actually going to manage to get in here and actually be able to kill her. Yeah, see that amount of damage there? That is just crazy. So at least they get a Baron here. Oh, nicely done. Nicely done. Come on, Smitey. Do it. If only. And are they really going for a... Are they really going to tank this turret straight up? Yeah, that's not a good idea. Obviously this is all not a good idea. They shouldn't even be here. Should have backed off after the... Oh, Shurelias was still up, so that's okay then. With Shurelias they could get out, but really they shouldn't have been there. After that kill on Lux, they should have just backed up and gone for Baron or something like that. But they're still alive, so... Yeah, and Malphite really isn't too worried about anything. He's very tanky. He has a lot of magic resist, a lot of armor. Has 228 armor now. And 150 magic resist still. And the enemy might actually go for Baron here. It is not really wise. They have no pink ward because there's a ward right here. And are they actually going to steal it? Because if they steal this, they win. If the enemy gets it, the enemy wins. So this is what it's all about. And oh, they're not even reacting to this guy. Wow, he can just run up. He doesn't even use his ultimate. What? What? How did that even work? He just runs in and steals it. Well, excellently played. Not at all a mistake on the enemy's part. Oh my god. That was so bad. They could have seen him like 10 seconds before the smite and then he just smites it. Oh, too good, man, too good. I would have definitely used ultimate and smite there, but he just uses his smite at exactly the right time, and all is good. So they lose a turret, I think a Nexus turret even, yep, and they are now wearing Baron buff, so they should be able to just push this and win. No, don't tank all the turret shots. Yeah, there he is going to tank all of the turret shots. A nice shield from Orianna there. And is he actually going to survive? No. Oh, that would have been awesome. So both teams, or both Nexi, without turrets. And yeah, I don't understand this. Soraka had her ultimate, and she doesn't use it to heal up the Malphite. That's the second time this game, so you should really sort out your issues with this Soraka player, because apparently he hates you, or she, I don't know. But that was definitely not very well played on Soraka's part, because healing the Malphite would have been crucial, because Malphite is a big factor in this game. It's not a tank, or it's not a a carry. It is your tank, but apparently they are going to focus him all the time, and you really need to heal him up, because he can prevent the enemy team from killing your Nexus. So they lost all three inhibitors, and it is now all about, well, who's going to push first. Because if they just send in one of the champions to the enemy Nexus, they win. Yeah, and now they're going to win anyway. As I said, Baron buff was going to decide this game, and if the enemy got it, yeah, that's really stupid. You're just standing there, like the 2 seconds are going to matter. And the lunge, no, not the second lunge. I would have expected the second lunge there. Oh, this is so lame. So this Vayne, the Vayne on our team, should be faster than the other Vayne, because, well, that's the way Vayne works, if you run towards an enemy champion. And now just kill the Nexus, guys. Ignore the minions. Yeah, the whole enemy team is dead except for Master Yi. Well, what's he going to do? 3 hits from Vayne and the Nexus falls. Wow, close game. Very well played. A couple of mistakes from Soraka especially. And I think it's pretty cool that the bottom lane actually held out against Yi Vayne. So that Soraka Vayne was apparently stronger than Yi Vayne, because I would have said that Yi could have been harassing a lot, especially since he started off being AP. And I think it was a nice build on him, by the way. But yeah, nice play. So I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. GG.